Hey guys, this is Raven, Lady Raven, coming to you from my altar room today in the new moon celebration. We have a new moon in Virgo. As you can see, I'm in full high priestess mode today. And I decided to do something a little different. After I did my ritual, I decided to go ahead and do what I call a new moon reading, and it's a really simple reading. It's only 2 cards, and I'm going to post a diagram on how to do it later in my feed if you want to take a look at it and learn how to do it. And you can do it for yourself, and you can use any deck you wanted to use. So I wanted to first kind of explain to you how sometimes you have one thing planned, but once you feel the energy of where you're going, something else may happen. So I had originally purchased this deck today to actually do this reading with, because since we are looking at new moon energy in Virgo, and Virgo is all about, you know, being comfortable at home and organizing and cleansing and really being kind of a very earthy kind of a feel, and I thought this would be perfect. But when I got here and I started, it was like, no, you're not using this deck. So I ended up, actually, this is a deck I purchased a while ago. It is called it's this one right here. It's the Activations Oracle. And I purchased this deck quite a while ago and have not had a chance to really do any work with it. I never felt called to work with it or to do anything with it other than today it finally called me. So diving right into it, essentially what this is going to be is I pulled 2 cards, and the new moon for me always symbolizes the looking within. You know, it talks about things that are hidden. So if you wanted to look at kind of a duality between new moon and full moon, you would look at things that are outside of yourself, and then the new moon would be a good time for looking within yourself. So thinking about where the moon is, a lot of times in witchcraft we call this a still moon, because there's no movement energy to it. The moon has shrunk as much as it's going to be. So the new moon is always a still moon, and the full moon is a still moon, because they're not moving. They've done everything that they're going to do, and they basically came to a place where they've finished their cycle. So in the new moon, we are essentially walking out of a waning moon cycle, which carries all of that banishing and releasing and things that we don't need anymore. And we are now moving into the waxing cycle, which talks about increasing things and growing things and bringing things to you that you need. So in this reading, what I decided to focus, when you take that and you put all of that together and you focus it for yourself, when we look at the waning phase of this, which is going to be our first card, it basically talks about what are the things that are hidden within ourselves that we kind of need to maybe take a close look at, maybe release some of it, or maybe understand how we're not utilizing it appropriately. And the card that I pulled for that is, the very first card was this card right here, and I'll have a clearer picture once I take a picture and post it for you guys. But this is a card of discernment, and what this card talks about is being able to understand kind of the whys of what we do things. And when you turn this inward, a lot of times we find ways of justifying things that we want to happen. So instead of deciding, well, you know, I'm going to do this because I really should be doing this, or it's the right thing for me to do, we decide what we want to do, and then we backtrack from that and find a justification for why it is the right thing that we want to do, because we actually want to do it, instead of truly being guided into a decision of what it is that we want to do. So this card talks about thinking about that and maybe recognizing that within ourselves. We all have it. This is not something that anybody is immune from, because we're all humans and we all have desires and needs and things that we want. So it's important to acknowledge that, but you don't want to be ruled by that. So this is what this card basically talks about. So this is the card that rules our waning phase of our still moon. And the card that I pulled for our waxing phase, which is the phase that we are starting to move into, this is an interesting card because it talks about tantric journey. Now, with all of the other effects that you're going to have, and when you start talking about that. But to me, what this card talks about is moving in partnership with somebody. So basically moving forward into this phase, what brings to mind is, what relationships are you not acknowledging, or you're not giving important value to yourself and to your life? Do you have a partner or a child or a parent or a sister or a good friend or somebody who maybe you're taking them a little too much for granted. And so this is a time to think about, we always have power in numbers. So imagine that, these people are people that can be part of your circle, and that it needs to be a balanced relationship of energy. So whatever they give to you, you need to make sure that you reciprocate. So a lot of times, some of the people who are very giving tend to kind of take the back seat a little bit, because we know that they're not going to complain, that they're not going to say anything. So this is a card about acknowledging that who are the unsung heroes in our lives, our partners who do all of the things for us that we need and that help us, and that maybe they don't get as much acknowledgement as they should. So this talks about moving in conjunction with them. So when you succeed and you move forward, bring the people who support you forward with you, and then help them succeed as well. So this is my reading for the new moon, and this is a little different than everything that we've done today, but that I've done up until now. I'm just trying this brand new thing today. So I hope that you all have a fantastic new moon. I hope that you acknowledge all of your spiritual helpers during this moon, which is, one of the big things that we do during moon phases. And I hope that you are able to take some from this reading that I did. But I also want to encourage you to create your own reading with the same spread that I'm going to post for you, and just with your deck and your interpretations. And then just post them back in reply to this video, or to the cards that I'm going to post, the how-to. And just let me know how it went for you. I would love to see if this spread works as well for you as it has for me in the past. So I hope everybody has a blessed new moon. Thank you.